This is a citation for bravery. On December 3rd, 2018, police officer Feldman and Shortfall responded to a report of a subject. You can stand closer, it's okay.
She doesn't fight, not that
This is a good thing. This is a good time. Responded to a report of a subject who is armed with a large butcher knife inside a restaurant threatening the customers. Officer Feldman, arriving on the scene, observed multiple individuals inside the restaurant in a panic-stricken state. One subject frantically approached Officer Feldman, advising an individual inside the restaurant was brandishing a large knife going towards the patrons. Officer Feldman and Shortfall abruptly noticed the subject approaching them through the drive-through side of the restaurant. The subject was holding the knife in his right hand with a blood-stained blade pointed it towards the officers. The officers noticed the subject concealing his left hand inside his jacket. At this point, the officers were approximately 10 to 15 feet away from the subject as he was advancing. Officer Feldman and Shortfall gave loud verbal commands for the subjects to drop the knife. The subject stopped advancing and remained holding the knife towards the officers. While they maintained their position armed with their duty weapons, Officer Feldman advised Officer Shortfall he was going to holster his firearm, transition to our taser for less lethal. During this transition, Officer Shortfall maintained coverage of the subject and his firearm to protect Officer Feldman's position. After several tense sections, during Officer Feldman's transition to use the taser, the subject dropped the knife by his feet, but continued to refuse the officer's command to remove his hand from his jacket or get onto the ground. Officer Feldman deployed his taser, and the subject was taken into custody safely. These officers found out later the subject was sitting at a table, wielding the bloody knife in his right hand, and later chasing an unknown high school student in the restaurant, attempting to stab them. Over 42-second time period, Officer Feldman and Shortfall were faced with a situation of an armed offender clearly exhibiting intentional of causing serious bodily harm towards anyone he encountered without regard for human life. The officer's immediate bravery and selfless actions diffused a tense situation and protected the lives of numerous customers. Officers successfully de-escalated a dangerous, life-threatening situation and safely taking the subject into custody. Officer Feldman and Shortfall relied heavily upon their training during a stressful event, exhibiting remarkable bravery while facing a significant threat of death or serious physical injuries, and performed their duties. I'm honored to present them with this award.